Urban Camping Vehicle Part 2. Some considerations, things that you should definitely keep in mind when looking to get into a vehicle that you might be spending some extended periods in, either for recreation or for a more permanent situation. One, space is good, but stay away from anything that's unupholstered, like cargo vans. I know it's tempting. Condensation is a real big issue, as well as temperature control. You're going to get wild swings, and upholstery helps deal with that, as well as moisture control. If you are in a cold environment with a steel-walled inside vehicle, your windows are going to get all fogged up, and your stealth goes right out the window, because you walk by a car where the windows are fogged, you're like, all right, someone's been staying in there. Tinting, obviously a must if you want to try to keep your privacy, which I recommend. And as far as the power system, you're definitely going to want a standalone system, or you're going to burn up your regular starting battery real quick, repeatedly over and over and over, because they weren't meant to carry that like constant power load. So I went with a solar generator. Just wasn't attractive to me. You know, I kind of went overkill. You could get probably a 50-watt panel and get away with it, as long as you're not running heavy electronics or anything like that. Where you park, you want to have some good spots picked out, especially with Wi-Fi for entertainment, stuff like that, if you have a laptop, iPod, iPhone, whatever. And other than that, just don't be suspicious. And that's, I mean, that obviously goes without saying, but sometimes it's, you have to pick the opportune moments when you're getting in and out. If you hear someone talking right outside your vehicle, you know, people might be having a conversation like right here in this area, and I'm right here on the other side of the wall. Most likely they have no clue that anyone's in there, so don't be peeking out the curtains and doing like the creepy guy thing. Just assume that they don't know that you're there. Police, you know, I haven't had a problem with at all. I would just suggest that you make sure that you're not one spot too long, so you don't attract attention, because if you do have a run-in with the cops for whatever reason, and they see that you've got kind of like a camping rig, you're like a marked car from then on. They're gonna see you every time they go through, so just keep aware of that. Also be close to facilities, just in case. It's not for everyone. I wouldn't recommend it for any single females. It's probably not a good idea. And have some camping as well as mechanical experience. That's a must. You don't want your house breaking down on the freeway and not having any way of fixing it. As well as spare tire patch kits. Try to come up with you know, all the worst case scenarios that you can think of, and come up with a way of, you know, fixing that, way of getting out of that issue. AAA might be a good idea. I don't have it, just because I'm pretty good at fixing stuff. So that's something to consider. The reason I went with the Suburban is obviously space, but I also wanted four-wheel drive. That's really important to me, because I do like the wilderness, and you know, if you ever have to hit the trail, two-wheel drive isn't real conducive to dealing with mud and snow and stuff like that. Conversion vans are an option. Just be aware that people are more prone to look at a conversion van as a livable type vehicle when they're walking by, versus a Suburban. So that's something else to consider. Other than that, make sure the vehicle's in good working condition, good engine, all that, doesn't leak any oil, and that's pretty much all I can say. It's really interesting mental aspects of it. If you're not used to it, when you first start out, it can be a little bit creepy. Just kind of the way that you know, you look at yourself, and you know, you're kind of judging yourself. Well, I was anyways, of like, what, I wonder what, you know, people would think. But after a while, that really kind of goes away, as long as you have a routine that's not very suspicious. And yeah, other than that, once you get used to it, it can be very fun and rewarding. So we'll see how long it lasts. Again, it was started as an experiment, and I'm going to keep it going as long as I'm enjoying it. So things to keep in mind. Adios.